Most people losing their memory are not losing it because they are getting old. They are losing it because their brain has been starving quietly for years, and almost nobody notices until the damage begins to feel permanent. That sounds extreme, but doctors and researchers have been warning for years that many of the habits modern people call normal are slowly shrinking attention, weakening circulation to the brain, disturbing sleep, and accelerating mental fatigue long before serious memory problems appear. And the frightening part is this can begin in your 20s, then suddenly feel much worse after 50. You forget names. You walk into rooms and forget why. Your thoughts feel slower. Your focus slips faster. You reread the same sentence 3 times, and eventually, many people start asking themselves a terrifying question they never thought they would ask. Is this normal aging, or is something happening to my brain? But what if some of the biggest causes of memory decline have nothing to do with intelligence? What if your daily habits are quietly changing the way your brain stores energy, repairs cells, and protects itself from inflammation while you sleep? Tonight, we're uncovering 5 hidden causes of memory loss that most people ignore until it's too late. And some of them may already be affecting you right now, because the truth is, your brain may be aging much faster than the rest of your body. And the signs are far more subtle than people realize. 1. The healthy foods that may be starving your brain. Some people are not damaging their memory with junk food, they are damaging it with foods they were told were healthy. That is the disturbing part. Many ultra-processed health foods create fast spikes in blood sugar, followed by energy crashes the brain quietly suffers from. Researchers and neurologists have warned that the brain depends on stable energy more than almost any organ in the body. And when that energy keeps swinging up and down, concentration, memory, and mental clarity begin to weaken slowly over time. The scary thing is the brain does not usually fail all at once. It whispers first. You feel foggy after meals. You lose focus faster. You crave sugar even when you are full. And eventually, the brain begins protecting itself by conserving energy instead of performing sharply. Imagine 2 people eating breakfast. One grabs a healthy cereal bar and sweet yogurt. An hour later, their brain feels tired again. They need caffeine, then more sugar. The cycle repeats all day. The other eats eggs, fruit, nuts, and water. Their energy stays steady. Their brain stays calmer, sharper, more stable. Small choices, very different futures. Pause for a second and think about that. Doctors now believe chronic inflammation and unstable blood sugar may play a major role in cognitive decline later in life. Simple changes matter. Eat more whole foods that digest slowly. Reduce heavily processed snacks labeled low-fat or healthy. Prioritize protein, fiber, healthy fats, and hydration. Watch how your brain feels 1 hour after eating. The biggest mistake people make is waiting for severe memory problems before paying attention to their nutrition. By then, the brain may already be exhausted. What food makes you feel mentally sharp? And what food makes your brain feel slow afterward? Because the next hidden cause of memory loss is even more common. And most people experience it every single night without realizing the damage it may be causing. 2. The silent sleep mistake that ages the brain faster after 40. Most people think sleeping longer protects the brain. But the real danger is sleeping with a stressed nervous system that changes everything. Doctors and sleep researchers now understand that memory is not only built during the day, it is repaired at night. Deep sleep acts like a cleaning crew for the brain, helping remove waste proteins, calm inflammation, and organize memories from the day. But when stress, screens, irregular schedules, or late-night stimulation interrupt that process, the brain stays in a light defensive state instead of fully recovering. And the frightening part is many people do not realize this is happening. They wake up tired, forget simple things, lose focus in conversations, depend on caffeine by noon, then repeat the same cycle again the next night. The brain never fully resets. Imagine one person falling asleep with the television running, notifications buzzing, and stress still racing through their body. Now imagine another person dimming lights early, avoiding heavy stimulation, and giving their brain a calm signal that it is safe to recover. One brain stays alert all night. The other repairs itself quietly. That difference compounds over years. Take a breath and think about that for a moment. Researchers have linked poor quality sleep to memory decline, slower thinking speed, mood changes, and increased mental fatigue later in life. Simple changes can help. Keep a more consistent sleep schedule. Reduce bright screens before bed. Avoid heavy meals and excessive caffeine late at night. Create a darker, quieter sleeping environment. One major mistake people make is treating exhaustion like discipline. The brain does not interpret chronic sleep deprivation as productivity, it interprets it as danger. What habit keeps your mind awake when your body is trying to rest? Because the next hidden cause of memory loss does not begin in the brain at all. It begins with stress silently changing the chemistry of the entire body. 3. Why stress can physically shrink your memory. Most people think stress only affects emotions. They do not realize stress can slowly change the brain itself. That is the hidden danger. Chronic stress keeps the body in a constant survival state. Stress hormones like cortisol were designed to protect humans temporarily, not flood the brain every single day. But modern life keeps many people mentally on all the time. Notifications, financial pressure, lack of rest, emotional tension. The brain begins prioritizing survival over repair, focus, and memory storage. And over time, that changes how clearly people think. You may notice it quietly at first. More mental fatigue, shorter patience, difficulty concentrating, forgetting conversations, feeling emotionally drained after simple tasks. Researchers have found that prolonged stress may affect areas of the brain connected to memory and learning, especially when recovery periods are missing. The dangerous part is many people normalize it. They call it being busy. They call it adult life. Meanwhile, the nervous system never fully feels safe enough to recover. Pause there for a second. The brain performs best when it feels secure, rested, and emotionally regulated, not constantly pressured. Simple habits help. Slow down stimulation during the day, spend time away from constant noise and screens, prioritize real rest, not just distraction. Practice breathing or calming routines consistently. One major mistake people make is ignoring stress because it feels invisible. But invisible pressure still leaves physical effects. What stresses you the most lately? And do you think your brain has truly had time to recover from it? Because the next hidden cause of memory decline may be sitting in front of you right now. Literally. 4. The dangerous sitting habit. Doctors are finally warning about. Many people believe the brain declines because of age, but sometimes the brain is simply underfed by inactivity. That is a hard truth modern life avoids. The human body was built to move regularly, not remain seated for most of the day under artificial light and constant stimulation, yet millions of people sit for hours believing a short workout somehow cancels the damage. Research increasingly suggests the brain depends heavily on healthy blood flow, oxygen delivery, and physical movement to stay sharp. When movement disappears, circulation slows, energy drops, mental alertness weakens, even mood and memory can begin fading quietly. The uncomfortable part is humans adapted emotionally to convenience faster than biologically. People celebrate being busy while barely moving their bodies. They scroll for hours, work through exhaustion, ignore stiffness, fatigue, and brain fog as if these are normal signs of adulthood. But the body keeps score quietly, and eventually the brain notices. Pause there for a moment. Sometimes the problem is not a lack of intelligence. It is a lack of movement powerful enough to wake the nervous system back up. Simple changes matter. Walk more frequently throughout the day, stand and stretch every hour. Prioritize consistent daily movement, not only intense exercise. Spend more time outdoors when possible. One dangerous mistake people make is waiting until their body forces them to change. Wake up before that moment arrives. What is one habit keeping you seated longer than your body was designed for? Because the final hidden cause of memory decline has nothing to do with food, sleep, or exercise. And it may be affecting millions of people emotionally without them realizing it. And near the end, you'll discover the one brain-protecting habit many long-living adults surprisingly have in common. 5. The hidden loneliness epidemic. Destroying mental clarity. One of the most dangerous threats to the brain is not aging. It is emotional disconnection, and most people never see it coming. Humans are biologically wired for meaningful connection. Studies on brain health and aging continue to show that isolation, chronic loneliness, and lack of emotional support may increase stress levels, disturb sleep, weaken motivation, and slowly affect memory over time. The brain interprets long-term loneliness as a form of stress even when someone appears fine on the outside. That is why some people feel mentally exhausted even when their life looks stable. The modern world made humans more connected digitally, but emotionally further apart. More scrolling, less conversation, more noise, less belonging, and the brain quietly responds to that absence. You notice it in subtle ways. Lower motivation, mental fatigue, difficulty focusing, feeling emotionally numb during everyday moments. Real human connection stimulates the brain differently. Conversation, laughter, emotional safety, and purpose activate parts of the mind that isolation slowly weakens. Sit with that thought for a moment. Sometimes the brain is not asking for more stimulation, it is asking for more genuine connection. Simple habits matter. Spend more time in meaningful conversations, reconnect with supportive people, reduce excessive isolation and passive scrolling, prioritize real-world interaction when possible. One major mistake people make is believing independence means emotional isolation. Humans were never designed to function completely alone. What kind of conversation makes you feel mentally lighter afterward? And if this video changed the way you think about memory, tell us which hidden cause surprised you the most. Like, comment, and subscribe to the Human Upgrade for more evidence-based insights on brain health, longevity, and healthy aging. Because in the next video, we're uncovering the everyday habits that may quietly accelerate aging in the body long before visible symptoms appear. Here is the uncomfortable truth most people do not want to hear. Many humans spend more money protecting their phones, cars, and houses than protecting the organ that controls their entire life, their brain. And by the time memory problems become obvious, the silent damage may have been building for years through stress, poor sleep, isolation, inactivity, and daily habits people kept calling normal. But the hopeful part is this: the brain can respond surprisingly well to consistent, healthy changes. Small habits repeated daily can shape the way you think, feel, and age. If any part of this video connected with your experience, share it in the comments. I genuinely read them, and I would love to hear your story and connect with you personally. And if you want to upgrade your health, your focus, and your future, subscribe to The Human Upgrade.